Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to the Athletics and Wellness Center on the campus of Earlham College as we bring you Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference basketball this afternoon. The Quakers, coming in at 3-5 overall, 0-3 in conference play, will take on the Spartans of Manchester, who come in at 1-6 overall, 0-3 in the conference. Welcome to the Athletics and Wellness Center as the Earlham women lost their game just moments ago, but this afternoon the men hoping to pick up a conference win against a Manchester team that is struggling coming in. Last year Manchester won both meetings over the Quakers, 95-64 at Manchester, and then won a close one here in overtime, 76-74 here at Earlham College. We'll come back in a couple of moments. We'll talk more about this Manchester basketball team in just a couple of moments. Stay right there. This is Earlham men's basketball right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports, and this is the Farm Beer Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank. A bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're back on the Farm Beer Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. And, well, Manchester coming in, they have struggled this year, but I think a better basketball team than what their 1-6 record may indicate coming into this game here this afternoon, as they are 0-4 on the road. In their last game out, they lost a very close one to Mount St. Joe, 76-68. Tyler Alexander leads this team at 16.1 points per game. They're kind of not a two-man show, but these two guys are the best they have right now, Tyler Alexander and Adrian Johnson. Johnson at 15.7. We mentioned Alexander at 16.1. Not a bad scoring team at about 71.1 points per game, but they give up 75. But from a standpoint of shooting, they've got some work to do. Only 43% coming into this one. Still a 30% from the three-point arc in the shooting department coming to this one here this afternoon as well. So the Quakers will have to watch again for Tyler Alexander. He wears number 21, and Adrian Johnson, who wears number 0 here this afternoon. By the way, the Quakers, their last time out, they ended up losing their last contest at Franklin. In fact, they had a tough weekend. They lost that overtime contest to Bluffton, 88-87. They go to Franklin, a tough place to play. They lost that one 76-68. So the Quakers have dropped their last 3. And that's where they stand coming into this one again at 0-3 in conference play. When we come back in just a couple of moments, we will run down the proposed starters for this one here this afternoon. It's coming up in a couple of moments. This is the Farm Beer Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
By the way, Quakers 3-9 against Manchester since joining the conference. Teams have split the games in the last 3 years. The Quakers' last win over the Spartans came back in 2013. That was a win right here, 58-53. So the Quakers hoping to repeat that here this afternoon. Here are the starters, or the probable starters today for Manchester. At guard, Adrian Johnson, a 5'11 sophomore out of Indianapolis, averaging 16.1 points per game. Johnson wearing 00. Blake Brower gets the start, 6'7", and a forward out of Elkhart, Indiana, averaging 6.7 points per game. He will get the start today wearing number 5. Kenny Doss, a 5'9", or should say a 6'1" junior, averaging 5.9 points per game out of Chicago. Doss will wear number 14. Tyler Alexander, the transfer from Defiance, averaging 15.7 points per game. He's out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Alexander wearing number 21. And then Evan Romey will get the start, 6'3", and a sophomore out of Anna, Ohio, averaging 2.4 points per game. He wears number 31. Quakers will go like this afternoon. Nick Sands, a 5'9" sophomore out of Warsaw, Indiana, averaging 8.1 points per game, wearing number 2. Thomas Sanborn, the 6'5" freshman out of Crown Point, he's averaging 8 points per game. He'll get the start today, Sanborn wearing number 20. Blake Bonin is a 5'8" sophomore out of Crown Point, Indiana. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's just a freshman. I'm going to check this. I think their game notes are wrong on that. As Bonin, let me check here. Yeah, he's just a freshman. They have him listed as a sophomore, but Bonin is just a freshman at a Crown Point, averaging 10.3 points per game. He'll wear number 30. John Sakaleros is another freshman out of Crown Point, Indiana, 6'5", averaging 2.4 points per game. Sakaleros wearing number 42. And, of course, the team leader on this one, Daryl Hutchison, a 6'4" sophomore, averaging 15.1 points per game out of Indianapolis. And Hutchison wearing number 45. Those are the starters for both teams. This has been the Farm Beer Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. We'll come back and tip it off in just a moment. This is Earlham Men's Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
We are back here at the Athletics and Wellness Center as we're ready to tip this second game of our doubleheader here this afternoon. The Earlham women losing a tough one, and now the Earlham men will try to get on the winning side of things here against the Spartans. Great to have you with us this afternoon, and for those of you watching NFL games throughout the afternoon, Colts got a big win. They beat the Vikings today 34-6. How about that Colts win for those Indianapolis fans? Big win for the Colts. Here we go, Manchester, Earlham. And we're ready to tip this one off here this afternoon. It looks like El Dasugi is going to get the start. Tariq El Dasugi for the Quakers. So there's one change in the Quaker lineup. Tyler Alexander will jump it up for the Spartans, and the tip won by Manchester. And this one is underway here this afternoon. Quakers will open up man-to-man. Driving down the lane, ball tipped and picked up by Castile. Chase Castile also getting the start. Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Manchester. So turnover by the Spartans. So they've made a couple of changes as Chase Castile, 6'6", out of Monrovia, Indiana. He wears number 4. He will get the start here this afternoon for Manchester as well. Hutchison with the basketball. Gets cut off going to the baseline. Sands will drive. El Dasugi in the lane. Back to Sands, and they'll reset it. Shot clock is at 9. Bonin very close to going over and back as he nearly had to straddle that line. El Dasugi with one on the shot clock, missed it. And the ball run down in the corner by Romy. And here come the Spartans. Nice crossover. Finger roll good by Adrian Johnson. And Johnson will put Manchester on the board, leading this one 2-0. Johnson, very quick guard there for Manchester. Here's Sands. Sands will drive off the glass. It's too strong, and they'll get El Dasugi on the foul. So El Dasugi with the foul, and that'll be the Quakers' first. And Earlham will show full court press here, and El Dasugi gets the start. He started in place here this afternoon. See, the Quakers were scheduled to start as Manchester with the basketball. I believe they were going to go with, at least they thought they were going to go with Sakaleros, but Sakaleros, again, not starting here today. 12 on the shot clock. Manchester will work it down low. And, boy, they go inside to Alexander. Missed the shot, but then tips it in. Manchester on top of this one, 4-0. Bonin across the timeline. Here's Sands. Sanborn again, the freshman out of Crown Point, to El Dasugi. El Dasugi will give the Quakers a little more length as Sanborn draws the double team. Back to El Dasugi, and he's going to be fouled. It'll be a blocking foul called on Romy. Romy's out of Anna, Ohio, the 6'3 sophomore. El Dasugi at the line for the Quakers. He'll be there for 2 shots. And Earlham on the board here in the first half. El Dasugi back in for number 2. El Dasugi out of Brebeuf High School in Indianapolis. Here's Johnson across the timeline. Now to be Alexander back once again. Nice give and go to Romy, who lays it in. That was a nice play that time for Manchester. And Romy with the easy layup, 6-2, Manchester on top. Here's Alexander out on the high post. El Dasugi now with the basketball. Will drive with the right hand. It has his shot blocked inside. Castile got the block, and here come the Spartans once again. Johnson feeds inside, and we've got a blocking foul on Daryl Hutchison. So Daryl picks up his first. Hutchison, the 6'4 sophomore, and he's out of Crispus Attucks High School in Indianapolis. 17-14 to go here now in the first half. An offensive foul underneath. A moving screen will be called. They get Tyler Alexander. So Alexander picks up his first. That'll be the second turnover now by Manchester. Okay, Manchester will try to trap a little bit right here. El Dasugi will float that pass to Sanborn. Cross-court pass. Sands down low to Hutchison. He'll drive. His shot's going to be blocked as well by Castile. 2 blocks by Castile. And boy, what a hard screen set. That time by Brower as he knocks Sands to the floor. Pass inside. Romy with a bucket. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Quakers will get a timeout. 16:50 to go on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Manchester leading it by 6.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Well, quick timeout by the Quakers down in this one. Not happy, I'm sure, with the defensive effort so far for the Quakers. Down 8-2 as Manchester We mentioned a little bit ago, I thought they're going to be better than that record indicated. Now a little 1-2-1-1 trap put together. El Dasugi intended for Sanborn, knocked out of bounds by Alexander of Manchester. Boy, Manchester playing with a little bit of energy here this afternoon. Bonin got away with a shove-off. He and Adrian Johnson working against each other. It should be interesting. Bonin on the drive, blocked again inside. This time Brower gets the block. 2-on-2 break the other way, and the scoop by Johnson is good. Boy, what a start here by Manchester on top 10-2. Quakers will make a change. We're going to see John Sakaleros come in. Here's a nice pass inside to Hutchison. He'll lay it in. Hutchison on the board for the first time. Leads the Quakers in scoring at 16.1 points per game. Here's a nice move by Johnson. Note that's Alexander. Missed it. And that'll be a traveling on Sanborn. We'll take that back from the scoring standpoint for Hutchison. He's averaging 15.1, not 16.1. Sanborn will come out. We mentioned Sakaleros checking into the lineup. Also coming in for Manchester will be Brody Kirby. He's out of Frankfort, Indiana. And here's Manchester with the basketball, leading this one 10-4. This is Brower. 19 on the shot clock, near steal by Sands. Nice pass inside to Alexander, and they'll wave it off and call a foul on the floor. That'll go against Sakaleros. Johnson on the inbound, 15:39. Here's Brower, turns, shoots, and left it short. Ball tipped in the air by Kirby, and the Quakers come out with it. Earlham making a change as well in their lineup as the Quakers see Isaiah Ware, and Ware's been out with an injury. Ware missed it, but Isaiah in the ballgame for the Quakers. We haven't seen Ware yet this year. Here's Kamari Hunter into the ball game, so Ware is in. Ware is a 5'10" sophomore out of Indianapolis. He too out of Crispus Attucks. Kamari Hunter is out of Long Beach, California. In for Manchester will be Chris Hill. Here's Hutchison. Draws the double team. Ball loose, turnover Quakers. That's their second. Here's Johnson in the lane. Will not get it to go, but a whistle and a foul. And Johnson is really going to push the tempo here this afternoon. Adrian Johnson, he's out of Indianapolis. I'm sure these guys know each other pretty well, all the players that are out of the Indianapolis area. Played at Fall Creek High School. And the free throw's good. Foul called on, they still have Sakaleros on the foul, but the Quakers have 4 team fouls. Second free throw is good by Johnson. He has 6. So the Quakers, in fact, they haven't changed the score either. So they haven't given us an update on who the foul was on, and they haven't updated the score either. Should be 12-4. There you go. Quaker basketball, here's Sands. Sakaleros drives and stripped out of his hands, and a foul will be called on Sands. And Nick just picked up his first. Coming in for Manchester, number 34 will be Eric Bell. He's out of Evansville, Bosse. Boy, each team going into their bench very early in this one, and that will be Bell at the point. High screen out front by Hill. They're going to work it back underneath to Alexander. Little jump stop, and Quaker bench up off their seats saying that was a travel. 14-4. Quakers down by 10. Ware back in the lineup for the Quakers with the pass. Here is once again Hutchison back outside now to Ware. Little screen and roll. Ware back to Hutchison. And he got tied up. That'll be a jump ball. It'll stay with the Quakers, but that'll be a turnover for Earlham as they lose the possession arrow. I don't think Isaiah has played in a game yet this year. And here's a drive by Ware in the lane. High out the glass, good. And that's what he brings to the Quakers. 14-6. Manchester basketball. Here's Brower. Bell top of the key, nothing there. Here's Kirby on the drive, gives it off to Hill. 10 on the shot clock. It'll be Alexander. He'll size up his defender, draws the double team. Left-hand shot, no good. Boyd somehow coming out with it. That ball, I don't think, ended up hitting the rim, and the Quakers thought it was a shot clock violation. But it was a putback by Bell, and the Quakers down by 10 here in the first half. Here's Ware between the circles now for Earlham. Hutchison on the right wing, back to Ware. He's going to fire the three. No. He goes to the floor, rebounded by Alexander. Quick outlet pass will find Kirby. Down the lane, but a travel will be called on Chris Hill. That'll be the third turnover by Manchester. Kenny Doss will come in out of Chicago. Doss, a 6'1 junior. And Doss will number 14. And one other change now for Manchester. This is Enes Basarevic. So Basarevic has come in. He wears number 15. And Basarevic out of Fort Wayne Northrop High School. Enes Basarevic. Sakalaris will find Hunter. His jumper on the way, in and out. And right there at the right time, right place is Stallings to lay it in for the Quakers. 16-8. 12:37 to go. Manchester basketball once again. There's a travel. They ended up getting Kirby dragging that pivot foot. That'll be their fourth turnover. And it'll be Quaker basketball. Here's Hunter out to Sakalaros. Here's Kamari on the drive. Kamari to the basket, and he'll be fouled. Kirby picks up the foul. That is going to be his first. And here is Kamari Hunter. Hunter on the board for the first time today, 16-9. Alex Topolovich coming in now for Earlham. Kamari is a 78% free throw shooter. And it gets them both. And the lead back to 6, just over 12 minutes remaining. Manchester very active offensively. There's a lot of moving pieces to their offense. Very little standing. Good look here at Eric Bell. 10 on the shot clock. The entry pass knocked away by Topolovich. The ball goes out of bounds. Turnover by the Spartans. That'll be their fifth. Coming in now for Manchester will be Chase Castile once again, the 6'6 senior out of Monrovia. And we'll see Elijah Wilson-Thomas coming in for the Quakers. Wilson-Thomas will replace Isaiah Ware. Elijah, by the way, only averaging about 14.9 minutes per game, but averaging 10.5 points. Quaker basketball. Here's Hunter. Topolovich. And that'll be a hand check foul called against Manchester. They'll get Castile. So Castile picks up his first. Team foul number 4 now on Manchester. And you'll see the Quakers inbounding here on the near sideline. Here's Hunter, gets the screen from Sakaleros. Stallings for 3 off the front of the rim. And we will stay right here. Foul will be called against Basarevic. So Basarevic will pick up his first. That is the 5th team foul. Both teams now with 5. Topalovic off the inbound, and a blocking foul now called against Castile, his second. So now 6 fouls. Brower back in. Quakers will be in the bonus on the next foul by Manchester. Step back, shot on the way, good. Elijah Wilson-Thomas. And that's a 3-pointer by Elijah. And the Quakers down by 3. Mentioned a lot of cutting and a lot of screening here by Manchester. Here's a pull-up shot, no good as Johnson can't get it to go. Offensive rebound tipped up and no by Kenny Doss. Quakers back the other way. Here's Stallings. Stallings has it stripped out of his hands. That'll be a jump ball. Doss able to get a hand on it. Possession arrow in favor of Manchester. Change here now for, we'll see the Spartans come back with Tyler Alexander. Quakers a little soft trap right here. And that pass over the head of Dawson goes out of bounds. Adrian Johnson telling Doss to cut toward the basket. 6 turnovers now by Manchester. Hutchison back in. Sakaleros will sit down, and 10:40 remaining here in the first half. Manchester got off to the early lead, led by 10 points twice, but the lead now 3. Wilson-Thomas on the drive. Little floater, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Will stay here. Last touched by Eric Bell. Alexander down there as well. Bell thought that ball went off the fingertips of Hutchison. And we've got a timeout by Manchester. We will take a timeout as well on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers down in this one by 3.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, Richmond Power and Light is advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. For more information on Richmond Power and Light, go to their website at rp-l.com. Richmond Power and Light. Together, we make powerful partners.
Quakers down by 3 following the timeout once again by Manchester. Quakers will inbound on the baseline. It'll be Hunter putting it in play. Here's Hutchison. Back to Kamari. Quakers ended up with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Topalovic to Stallings, and around the perimeter, Wilson-Thomas. And boy, nearly stolen away by Bell. Here's Kamari on the drive, and Bell will pick up the foul. So 1 in bonus now for the Quakers, and this will be Kamari Hunter, 2 for 2 from the line. 10-10 remaining here in the first half. Hunter now 3 of 3. Quakers as a team coming in here this afternoon, hitting only 62% from the line. Second free throw by Hunter. That one off the back of the iron and falls right in the hands of Evan Romey. So Quakers down by 2. Johnson trapped at midcourt, and they'll get Elijah Wilson-Thomas on the foul. And now both teams will be in the bonus. There you see Tyler Alexander at the bottom of your screen. It'll be Bell. Romeo the basketball straight away. The lob pass inside to Alexander goes out of bounds, and Topolovich down there got some help from Elijah Wilson-Thomas. 16 seconds down the shot clock. Here's the inbound Adrian Johnson. Johnson against Topolovich. Crosses him over to the baseline. Throws inside. Turns it over. Turnover number 7. Wilson-Thomas inside to Hutchison. Basket good, and he's fouled by Brower. So Darrell lays it in. He has 4. And a chance to give the Quakers the lead. Brower picks up his first. Here's Tyler Billups in the lineup. Billups out of Connorsville, a 6'2 freshman. So Billups seeing his first action of the afternoon. And Darrell at the line for the Quakers, and his free throw is good. 5 now by Darrell, leads the Quakers in scoring, and Earlham coming back after trailing by 10 early. Here's a dangerous pass stolen by Stallings. Got the defender in there and lays it in. And a timeout on the floor. Timeout called by Manchester. 9:25 remaining in the first half. Quakers on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, leaded by 3.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at Tony'sCarSales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
Well, the Quakers on a nice run now, leading it by 3, and they force now 8 Manchester turnovers here in the first half with this zone trap. Nice pass underneath, and the shot good. Brower gets his first 2. And is back to a 1-point lead. Wilson-Thomas now for the Quakers. Boy, he nearly traveled with it. Now it'll be Topolovich. Alex trying to size up his defender, Brower. Alex has it stripped out of his hands, but a foul call, and maybe Adrian Johnson. It will be. So now Topolovich at the line. Topolovich spent some time at Richmond High School for 1 year. Ended up at New Creations for a season. Second free throw is on the way short, so Alex will get 1 of 2, and the Quakers' lead is at 2. Quakers will be in the double bonus on the next foul by Manchester. Here is Billups for 3 off the mark. Rebound, Wilson-Thomas. And here come the Quakers once again. Nice screen out front and a nice roll by Hutchison. Boy, he's got good feet for a big guy, but they get him for a travel. Wow. That's a tough call. Not so sure that was a travel. Quakers unofficially now with 5 turnovers here in the first half. Here's Billups. Billups playing with for coach Kerry Brown, a great Connorsville program. Up and under that time by Alexander, goes out of bounds. Topolovich thought it was a travel on Alexander, but last night Connorsville coming to Richmond and beating the Red Devils at the Tiernan Center, and so far Connorsville hasn't missed a beat without Billups. Here's Billups back out once again to Romy. Now it'll be Johnson. And that'll be an offensive foul against Alexander on the moving screen. 9 turnovers now by Manchester. Boy, the way Alexander, Johnson, and Romey opened up this ball game, you thought it was really going to be a runaway. Basarevic coming back in now for the Spartans. Bonin back in now for the Quakers. Elijah Wilson-Thomas coming out of the ball game. Isaiah Ware has come back in for the Quakers, and he'll be at the point. So now you've really 2 point guards in the game for the Quakers. Here's Stallings off the left wing. Bonin guarded closely by Billups. Here's Darrell off the right wing. Darrell, he'll pull up on that one. Misses it. Stallings going for the rebound, but on the loose ball is Basarevic. Here's Romey with the basketball now for the Spartans. 7:28 to go here in the first half. Here's Brower. We'll go inside to Basarevic. He'll find Brower for 3. Got it. 5 now by Brower. And now the Quakers trail it by 1. I saw Darrell before the game said he was a little bit under the weather here today. So Darrell playing not at quite 100%, but still very productive. Topalovic traveled with it. He got his man in the air, but they say he took an extra step, and that'll be the 6th turnover. And we will see another change. We haven't seen Bailey Stewart play yet this year, and at least I haven't, and Stewart coming in. Eldasugi coming back in, so Bailey Stewart is in the ball game out of Northeastern High School in Fountain City. That team went to the regional in 2A last year. These two may know each other, Billups and Stewart. 21-20 Manchester with the lead. Here's Billups. A lot of good freshmen on both these teams for Manchester and Earlham. That ball loose. Turnover number 10, Manchester. Here's Ware the other way. Boy, he got hit hard by Billups. There's another. Basarevic thought it should have been a foul, and then back the other way they get Bonin. Boy, you had 2 tough calls at Earlham's end, and neither one of them whistled, especially Isaiah Ware. He got hammered. So now Adrian Johnson will go to the line, and he'll be there for 2. That's probably a little bit much from at least contact standpoint. And Johnson missed the front end of the one in bonus. Here's Bailey Stewart back the other way. This time Romey picks up the foul. That'll be his second, and Bailey Stewart will go to the line. Now, at some point here, the Quakers, boy, you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We haven't seen LeJay Kelly yet. Somewhere you're probably thinking, is that free throw's no good by Stewart, that you're going to have to cut down this rotation a little bit. And Bias Sam has come in out of Brooklyn, New York. Sam is 6'4", sophomore, now for Manchester, as Romey coming out. 6:15 remaining in period number, I should say in the second. Get it right, the first half. Second free throw's no good, again by Stewart, so he's 0 for 2 from the line. Still 21-20. That is Billups. And Sam will take the step and travel with that. That's 11 turnovers now in the first half by Manchester. So Quaker basketball, that is Ware across the 10-second line. Eldasugi straight away. Stewart coming off the low screen. And there's a turnover by the Quakers, number 7, and back the other way to lay it in is Johnson. So the turnover leading to 2 points. Here's Ware driving and scoring. Isaiah Ware now with 4. And back to a 1-point lead. Another turnover. Bonin with the steal and the layup. Manchester not handling the pressure well at all. 12 turnovers. Could have been another one right there. Spartans will get it across the timeline, but they're very shaky with the basketball. And Bias Sam has that right hand wrapped up. There was almost another turnover. And boy, there it is. El Dasugi with the steal. 13 turnovers now by the Spartans. Quakers a chance now to extend that lead, leading it by 1. Slip screen there by Hutchison. Ware with a step back, gives it off to Bonin. They go back down to Darrell, spins baseline right, and they got him again for another travel. We're going to have to ask. Well, they say a double dribble. They didn't say a travel. They said a double dribble, I believe. So that'll be 8 turnovers now by the Quakers. Elijah Wilson-Thomas will come in the ball game, and Isaiah Ware will sit down. Boy, Quakers been hit by a couple of interesting calls here in the first half. Kenny Doss back in, the junior out of Chicago. And setting down will be Basarevic. Stallings back in, and Bailey Stewart will sit down. I would imagine at some point, again, the Quakers will have to find a way to get some minutes for all these guys. It's not going to be easy. Boy, nice transition the other way, but missing it and putting it back is Doss. Well, they love to get up and down the floor. They're better when they don't play the half court. Into Hutchison, and a foul by Doss from behind. So Doss picks up his first, and Darrell goes to the line. 10 team fouls now on Manchester, so we will go double bonus. For it being a holiday week and the students not here, not a bad crowd here at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Free throw good by Hutchison. Tied at 25 now with 4:19 remaining here in the first half. Second free throw by Hutch. He is good. So now Darrell giving the Quakers a 1-point lead. There's that trap again. Billups trying to find some room. Got away from El Dasugi and Hunter. And blocking foul on Hutchison. That's going to be his second. And Bias Sam will go to the line. .4:11 to go. And the free throw is good by Sam. Sacaleros back in once again for the Quakers. Hutchison having to come out of the ball game, picking up his second foul. 7 points for Darrell. Second free throw is good. And now Manchester leads it by 1. Sacaleros way out front. Give it now to Bonin. 2 Crown Point graduates. In the corner. Here is Wilson-Thomas for 3. Missed it. Long rebound. Bell. Eric pushing it again for Manchester. Floats it in the lane and got it. Boy, that's speed right there. He got down the floor very quickly. 3-point lead again for the Spartans. Wilson-Thomas will go to Hunter. Now to be Stallings. Elijah, step back 3. No. Missed his last 2. Bell with a rebound. Bell out on the run again. They waste no time. Here is the shot on the way and an offensive foul called on Sam. Turnover number 14 now on Manchester. Isaiah will come back in for the Quakers. Sacaleros along with Ware, Stallings, Bonin, and Hunter. Here's Hunter, gets the screen from Sakaleros. And then the Quakers turn it over. Pass intended for Ware. That's going to be their 9th turnover here in the first half. Of course, at halftime, we'll check out your first half numbers, get you updated on the NFL scoreboard on this Sunday. Kirby back in once again. Here's Bell. And a three-point shot, good. Wide open on the three is Brower. He has 8. And the Quakers down by 6. Ware on the drive in the lane. Ball goes out of bounds and will stay right here. Brower trying to take a charge, and back in for the Quakers will be Thomas Sanborn. Kamari Hunter will sit down. 2:29 remaining in the first half. Ware will inbound. Boy, he's deep in the corner. That's about as deep in the corner as you can get, and that's going to be a foul. Ended up getting Billups on the foul, I believe, and it is. Tyler Billups picks up the foul, and this will put Sanborn at the line. So 1 and bonus here for Sanborn. We'll take that back again. Everything double bonus right now. So Quakers down by 5. Earlham will have 1 more, and then each team will be in the double bonus, but Sanborn gets them both. 4 points. Actually, 3 points by Sanborn. On the drive is Doss. 2:15 remaining. Kirby back to Doss. So they'll bring it back outside to Bell. 10 on the shot clock. Bell will drive. Can't get it to go. Stallings with a rebound and gets hit by Bell trying to get the steal. So Eric Bell picks up his second. He's going to come out of the ball game. And Stallings will go to the line. Stallings out of Gary. Played at Bowman Academy, and the free throw by Stallings is good. He has 5. Johnson back in once again for Manchester. Back to a 3-point lead now for the Spartans, and Stallings will get them both. (32-30). 1:55 remaining. Kirby gets it across the timeline to Doss. Quakers will trap right there. Doss will be called. Nope, we got a foul, I believe. Very close to a 5-second call. And they will get Sanborn on the foul. So Kenny Doss at the line. That'll be team foul number 9 now on the Quakers. It'll be a 1 and bonus. And again, after the next foul, each team will be in the double bonus. Doss now with 3. Second free throw by Doss is good. Elijah Wilson-Thomas back in for the Quakers. And we're down to 1:45. That is Ware against Doss. Gets the screen from Sakaleros. Here's Wilson-Thomas. Wilson-Thomas receives on the baseline. Nice sweep move. The kick out and offensive foul on Wilson-Thomas. 10 turnovers for the Quakers. Elijah just picked up his second foul. He'll come out of the ball game. Kamari Hunter has come back in. 1:27 remaining in the first half. Here's Johnson now for Manchester. Gets that screen from Brower. Kirby will drive, has his shot blocked. Sakaleros got a piece of it. Sanborn came out with it. Here's Hunter back the other way, and he's forced to the baseline. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by Brower. So it'll stay Quaker basketball. They reset the shot clock, which I'm not sure why. There you go, 6 seconds, so it's at 24. Ware will inbound. Here's Stallings. Kamari gets the screen from Sakaleros. If he rolls faster than that, Sakaleros gets it. Here's Stallings on the drive, trying to get contact. Nothing there. Sakaleros tips it up, but Doss comes out with it for Manchester. Boy, I tell you what, if Sakaleros rolls a little bit faster, they have a perfect screen and roll because there was nobody in there to guard Sakaleros the rest of the way. Billups driving baseline. Inside to Doss, and they'll wave it off. Foul's going to be called on Stallings. And so Manchester will go to the line, and Kenny Doss will be there for two. As again, both teams now in the double bonus. Chris Hill looks like he is coming in. Hill out of Fort Wayne North, the excellent basketball program up in Fort Wayne, as Doss hits the free throw. Chris Hill, 6'7". Another freshman on this Manchester squad that they're looking to build from a few freshmen on their team, just like the Quakers are doing. So Doss able to hit them both. Quaker basketball with 21 seconds remaining. That is Sanborn back to Hunter. Sakaleros. Once again, it's Ware. He'll check the clock, 8 seconds. Ware, step back, pull up on the three, no. Ball tipped by Sanborn. Johnson comes out with it, launches it, and misses, and we have made it to halftime. So your halftime score on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Manchester 36 and Earlham 30. We'll come back with your halftime report in just a moment. This is Earlham men's basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. You know, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770. Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Alums, want to connect with the college and your fellow Earlham alumni? Attend an alumni event. Our office is always organizing events locally and around the country and on campus during homecoming and reunion weekend. For information on upcoming events, visit earlham.edu/alumni. We hope to see you soon.
Hey, today's game brought to you in part by Harrington Hoke Insurance. You know, at Harrington Hoke, they spend every day working to make this community better, safer, and more enjoyable, because their focus is on insurance, and that's it. They're on top of industry changes, and they are a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you and what's important to you, Harrington Hoke insures it. Give them a call at 962-9502 or go to their website, harringtonhoke.com, for more information. Harrington Hoke, we got it. Well, halftime score, it is 36-30. Quakers at one point had trailed by 10. They battled back and certainly went back and forth until a couple of late turnovers ended up costing them the lead in the first half. Here's how the numbers went. The Quakers have not shot well. Let's start first off with Manchester. They were 13 of 23, good enough for 57%. They were 2 of 3 from three-point range and 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Their biggest fault in the first half was the 15 turnovers that they committed. That's a huge number in the first half. Quakers ended up with 17 points off those turnovers. 19 total rebounds for Manchester in that first half as well. 7 assists, 5 blocks, 2 steals, and they finished also with 10 bench points. Quakers shot only 31%. They were 8 of 26 in the first half, only 1 of 8 from three-point range, and 13 of 17 from the free throw line. 9 turnovers, and they also finished with a total of 11 rebounds, out-rebounded by 8 in the first half. Quakers finished with just 2 assists, a block, and 5 steals in that first half as well. We will check out the official scoring numbers coming up here in just a couple of minutes from the Sports Information Department here at Earlham College. And for the Quakers, they were led by Daryl Hutchison with 7, Kenneth Stallings with 6, 2 points by Tariq El-Dasugi, Thomas Sanborn with 2, Blake Bonin with 2 points, 3 by Kamari Hunter, Elijah Wilson-Thomas with 3, Isaiah Ware with 4, and a single point by Alex Topolovich. For the Spartans this afternoon in scoring, Blake Brower led the way with 10, 8 points by Adrian Johnson in the first half, Tyler Alexander with 4, Evan Romy with 4, and by Assam with 2 points, 6 points by Kenny Doss. Also, Enos Basarevic finished with 1 point. No, he did not score in the first half. It was Eric Bell who had 2 points in the first half, so that rounded out their 36 in the first half as well. We'll come back in just a couple of moments as we're at halftime here at Earlham College. Today's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors. Just $3.50 at Subway. With it being Sunday, today's the meatball marinara. Tomorrow the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. And then on Tuesday the oven roasted chicken. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. And of course later we'll name the Subway Sub of the Game. Stay right there. We'll check those NFL scores in just a couple of moments. This is Earlham Men's Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
The Sports Game Changer is now in Richmond. This is Troy Darengowski. If you want sports coverage you can count on, look to RadioTroy.com. We'll have everything from the Red Devils to the Pacers and Colts, and don't forget IU and Purdue. Also check out our play-by-play coverage of high school and college athletics and the daily sports page. We are the Game Changer. Radio Troy Digital Sports and RadioTroy.com.
Hey, today's game brought to you in part by Square Donuts of Richmond. Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or a midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. Enjoy those huge cinnamon rolls or any of the other crowd favorites, including maple bacon, strawberry cheesecake, Oreo cream, pumpkin spice, and many, many more. And, of course, grab those award-winning glazed donuts, voted #1 in the entire state. Proud to be your favorite donut shop, home to the best donuts in town and the only squares around, Square Donuts of Richmond. Here's your NFL updated scoreboard for this Sunday. The Packers win in Chicago. Packers 30, Bears 27. The Texans rally, scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter. They beat Jacksonville 21-20, so the Texans 8-6 in their division. The Bills pounded the Browns. How about the Browns 0-14 on the year, as the Bills win that one 33-13. Ravens got by the Eagles at final 27-26. It was the Titans winning in Kansas City 19-17. The Titans scored 12 points in that fourth quarter to win it by 2. The Giants over the Lions at final 17-6. Giants now 10-4. The Lions fall to 9-5. Colts win on the road at Minnesota 34-6 in a game not as close as that score may indicate. Andrew Luck, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. Steelers rallied to knock off the Bengals. At one point, the Bengals had a 20-9 lead. Steelers win at 24-20. 6 field goals by Chris Boswell for the Steelers. In the second quarter, Saints are on top of the Cardinals 17-13. Also in the second, the Falcons leading the lowly 49ers 21-7. In the second quarter, Patriots and the Broncos are tied at 3 apiece. Also in period number 2, the Chargers on top of the Raiders by a score of 7-3. Later tonight, the Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas. And then, of course, Monday night, the Panthers and the Redskins. We're at halftime here, 36-30. Manchester trying to pick up their first conference win. The Quakers also trying to go to 1-3 in conference play. We'll come back with the second half in just a few moments. This has been the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Halftime Report, and this is Earlham Men's Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hey, Chuck, where are you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Hi, this is Steve Funkhauser, and I was talking to someone the other day about how friendly and professional the crew at Jiffy Lube is, and they said, "You are always so upbeat. I'm going to call you Mr. Positive." And so now I am Mr. Positive. And I want you to know how proud I am of you and that you are doing a great job today. And hey, do something nice for somebody. Make somebody smile. Smiles are contagious, you know. I want you to have a great day and the horse you rode in on. Jiffy Lube. Fast, friendly, professional. I'm Mr. Positive, and I approve this message.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank, a bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, Richmond Power and Light is advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. For more information on Richmond Power and Light, go to their website at rp-l.com. Richmond Power and Light. Together, we make powerful partners.
It will be Quaker basketball to open things up here in the second half as Earlham down by 6. And we're ready to go as Isaiah Ware gets the start in the second half for Earlham. Hutchison is in. Also in for the Quakers, Sacalero, Stallings, and Bonans. A little bit of a different start in the second half for the Quakers. Here's Bonan back once again to Ware. Manchester, as you see, staying in that zone. Stallings deep in the corner. The drive, the kick to Bonan, back outside to Ware. Drives in the lane, back to Stallings, and Stallings powers it up. 8 points by Stallings. Stallings probably weighs about 160 pounds, but boy, he played like a power forward on that one. Driving in the baseline is Romy. He goes to the floor. Somehow Alexander able to come up with it. Turnaround shot on the way. Good. Tough shot that time by Castile. He gets his first 2 points. 38-32. Still pretty much a 2-1-2 zone put together here by Manchester. Sacaleros trying to get that pass inside. They're going to get Sacaleros, I believe, on the foul. Turnover Quakers, number 10. And Sacaleros just picked up his second. I've just noticed the Quaker coaching staff, they have 5 coaches this year. That's unusual. Generally no more than 2 or 3. There's a turnover. Hutchison with a steal. Darrell all the way and lays it in. 9 points now by Hutchison. 16 turnovers now by Manchester. And the lead at 4. Quakers turn a team over nearly 20 times. You're thinking, boy, you better get a win out of this one. Driving down the lane, basket good by Alexander, and he's fouled. And as you would expect, that was a little bit too easy that time by Tyler Alexander. Alexander leads Manchester in scoring at 16.1 points per game. By the way, the foul called on Stallings, and the free throw is good. And Manchester, that lead by 7. So now it'll be Quaker basketball. Ware reversing it to Bonin on the right wing. Ware once again. Entry pass to Alexander. Take that back, Hutchison. That's Sakaleros on the shot. Missed it, and a foul on the rebound, and 2 quick ones on Stallings. So now the Quakers may have to go back to their bench, and coming in will be Thomas Sanborn. Isn't he a big stop right here for the Quakers? Here's Alexander reversing it left to Brower, and we've got a foul, and they will get Castile for his 3rd. So he picks up number 3. That'll be turnover number 17 now on Manchester. So Quakers needed a stop. They get one thanks to the offensive foul on Castile, and here's Isaiah Ware. That is Darrell out front. Sanborn coming off the screen by Sakaleros. And once again, it'll be Ware near the bench. Lob underneath to Sanborn. Able to come up with it on the baseline. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Ware down to Hutchison. And Darrell gets fouled from behind. Foul on Brower. And Darrell will go to the line for 2 shots. So Brower with a foul. I had him for 1, but now they just say 1 right now. I had him for 2 fouls after that one, so just 1 on Brower. 3rd team foul on Richmond, 2 now on Manchester. And the free throw good by Hutchison. He now in double figures with 10. And the Quakers trail it by 6. I was wondering maybe at some point whether these 2 teams would kind of shorten their bench a little bit. We haven't seen LeJay Kelly at all here today so far for the Quakers. 2nd free throw's no good by Hutch, and it will be Manchester basketball. 17:24 remaining. Here's Alexander driving in the lane, stripped out of his hands, got it back, laid it in. Good hands by Alexander. Back to an 8-point lead. Ware crossed the timeline to Bonin. Quakers need to get something going here. Don't want this lead to extend, though they did fall down by 10 in the first half and made a comeback. Here's Ware, nice pass underneath. Sakaleros lost it. Bonin in the corner with 8 on the shot clock, missed it. Long rebound pulled out of there by Brower. Here's Johnson. Johnson driving, missing. Ball tipped by Brower. Johnson gets it back. His put back short. Brower again missed it as that one goes in and out. And the rebound by Sakaleros. Bonin will find Sanborn. Drives baseline left and will bring it back outside. And they'll set it up once again. Here's Ware down the lane. Ware floater good. Isaiah Ware with 6. And the Quakers pulled it within 6. Boy, too, what Brower had that one shot go about halfway down and came out. Here's Alexander. Romy will reverse it now to Brower. Brower, a couple of threes. Drive by Johnson. Missed the left-hand layup. Boy, he missed that badly. Here come the Quakers. Bounce pass. Bonin. Sakaleros. Basket good. Nope, they're going to say a troweling call. Wow. I'm not sure where that travel was, because it appeared to me that Sakaleros just received and put it right in. Jason Polikoff, the head coach. What a question that must have been. Where in the world was that? Quakers now with 11 turnovers. Here's Alexander. Alexander working against Hutch. Layup good. Alexander now with 7 in the half. And the Quakers down by 8 once again. There have been a couple of calls here today. The Quakers again must wondering what in the world. Well, you certainly don't get too many calls on the road, but at home you generally do. That's Nick Sands who scores on the baseline drive. Sands not starting the second half, back in the ball game now for the Quakers. 45-39, just over 15 minutes remaining. Skip pass. Here is Alexander looking inside, and a reverse layup good. Basarevic in the ball game now for Manchester, and a nice pass by Tyler Alexander. 47-39, Quaker basketball once again. Here's Sands. Sands out of Warsaw. Back out to Isaiah. Back to Sands for 3. Got it. 5 quick points now by Nick Sands, and the Quakers back to within 5. Here's Alexander once again. Romy with the basketball. We'll get it to Basarevic. Basarevic stops, kicks out. Here's a three-pointer in the way. No good by Castile, and a rebounding foul on Basarevic. That'll be his second. Elijah Wilson-Thomas coming in for the Quakers. And Sakaleros will sit down. 14-14 to go. And the Quakers down by 5, but a chance right here to cut into that deficit once again. Sands will receive, gives it off now to Sanborn. Here's Wilson-Thomas. No-look pass inside to Hutchison. Able to receive, and boy, he gained his footwork right back there and able to control himself and lays it in, and the Quakers down by 3. That was a heck of a pass that time by Wilson-Thomas. Here's Johnson, the high screen by Basarevic. Johnson down the lane, and he got this one. He missed his last one, but not this time. And Johnson lays it in, and he's fouled. Sands will pick up the foul, and for Nick, that is going to be number 3. Kenny Doss will come in. By the way, Castile coming out for Manchester. And here is Adrian Johnson. Johnson with 10. 2 of 3 from the line this afternoon, and his free throws on the way and good. And the lead back to 6. We're getting a lot of playing time here today. Here's Sanborn at the left elbow. Sanborn drives baseline, gives it off to Sands. Shot fake back outside to Ware. Quickly into Hutch. Layup good. Heck of a pass by Ware. Back to a 4-point ball game. Doss kicks it back outside to Johnson. Johnson will be guarded there by Ware. Basarevic sets the high screen. Off the other screen is Doss. He'll drive and score. Kenny Doss with 8. Boy, they set that screen on the left, and Doss able to slide right off the screen. Here's Ware in between 4 black jerseys, and he'll bring it back to the side. Skip pass for Sands. Sands will stop. Here's Sanborn for 3. Good. Sanborn now with 5. And the Quakers back to within 3. Boy, Sanborn wanted that ball the first time Sands was looking that way, but able to still get his foot down and his feet under him on the 3. Here is Johnson for 3. No good. Sanborn the rebound. Quakers down by 3. Here they come again. Here's Sands driving to the basket. Blocked. Elijah Thomas will hold on to it, and it goes out of bounds. He tried to get it to Sanborn, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover number 3 in the second half, 12 overall. Coming back in the ballgame for Manchester will be Brody Kirby. Quakers, a 2-2-1 zone trap. Johnson to Basarevic, back outside again to Adrian Johnson, and that's where the Spartans will set things up in the half court. 15 on the shot clock. Driving strong, and a blocking foul will be called on Nick Sands and Kenny Doss. On the drive, it almost appeared that Doss may have lowered that shoulder a little bit, but the official on the other side said no. 4 fouls now on Sands. And Kenny Doss at the line. Doss with 8 points. 11:53 remaining. Of course, before Sands leaves the ballgame, he saw him right there pleading his case. Thought he had good position underneath. Kamari Hunter will come back in for Earlham. Back to a 4-point ballgame. Second free throw is on the way and good. So now the Quakers down by 5. Bonin almost turned it over right there as Elijah Wilson-Thomas able to get that ball away from Kenny Doss. Here's Hunter looking inside to Hutchison, and we've got a foul call on Basarevic. Yeah, one thing that they've emphasized this year in not only college but high school basketball is not allowing a defender to stick his knee up around your backside and push you away and take that base away from you. So that's why that was called. Bonin will find Elijah Wilson-Thomas for 3. Good at the top of the key. 6 points now by Wilson-Thomas, and the Quakers have pulled back to within 2. Back in the ball game now for Manchester will be Eric Bell. Here is the drive by Doss, cut off, out to Brower and around the perimeter, back to Bell. 9 on the shot clock. 5 seconds. Bell driving off the glass, missed it. Elijah Wilson-Thomas, 2-on-2 break the other way. Elijah has it blocked. Hunter gets it, lays it in, and he's fouled. And the Quakers have tied this one at 54. Basarevic will pick up the foul. That is his 4th. Castile coming back in. And here's Hunter looking to complete the 3-point play. Hunter with 4. And Earlham a chance to take the lead. Earlham yet another comeback here this afternoon as Kamari at the line, and his free throw is off the back of the iron and high for the rebound, Castile. So the Quakers unable to take the lead on that possession. Bell across the timeline. Pass will go inside to Brower and quickly back out to Bell. So now Bell will set it up. Here's Doss. Kirby out front, works it left to Brower, back to Bell, and once again to Kirby. Doss got away on underneath on a push, and then he's going to get fouled by Sanborn. Boy, I tell you what, Doss just cleared things out underneath when he was pushing Bonin away. So Doss will go to the line for 2. The foul again on Sanborn. Thomas picking up his first. Team foul number 6 now on the Quakers. And Doss, perfect from the line here this afternoon, will give Manchester the 1-point lead. 7-7 for Doss. Second free throw is good. And is back once again to a 2-point ball game. That is Blake Bonin across the timeline against Bell. Now it'll be Wilson-Thomas. Quakers working with 4 guards and 1 forward. That is Hutchison. So very small team in here as Hutchison only at about 6'3". And they're going to get Darrell on a push underneath away from the basketball. Castile working underneath, but Darrell just picked up his 3rd, and that's a big foul. As Darrell will either have to play with the 3 at 10 minutes remaining, or they're going to have to bring him out of the ball game. And let's see if Manchester will look to attack him. There was a travel right there against Kirby, no whistle. Kirby ended up taking that little bunny hop. Bell back to Kirby. Keep an eye on Doss. Doss is having a pretty good second half. Doss feeling it. He drives, and he'll draw another foul. And if this is against Wilson Thomas, and it is, that's going to be his third. And Doss back in the line once again. Doss has made only 2 baskets so far. He is 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Isaiah Ware set to come back in. And Kenny Doss once again. We mentioned a little bit ago that you know a player when he's kind of feeling it, and Doss is feeling it here in the second half, that he can take that basketball to the basket against whoever's guarding him and get to the free throw line. Back to a 3-point lead. And he missed one. So Doss, after hitting his first 9, misses his first free throw, and will stay at a 3-point ball game. 9:37 to go. Here is Kamari Hunter taking the pass that time from Sanborn. Thinking about the 3 was Bonin. Now will drive, and nope, they're going to wave it off. Foul is out front. Call the foul on Doss. That'll be number 2 on Doss. And looks like that is the now 8th foul. Oh, wait a minute. The scoreboard says 8. But apparently that must be off because the Quakers inbounding. Sanborn trying to drive on the baseline. That'll be a blocking foul on Castile, and he just picked up his 4th. So back in the game will be Tyler Alexander now for Manchester. Quakers will be bringing in Tariq El-Dasugi once again. 7th team foul on Manchester, and this will bring Sanborn to the line for the 1 and bonus. 5 points now by Thomas. Now make it 6. El-Dasugi got the start here today, has not played in the second half. Sanborn gets them both. He'll come out of the ball game. El-Dasugi coming in. And we're at a 1-point lead. Now for Manchester. Quakers had success with this trap in the first half. Quickly Bell across the timeline. He had Alexander in the middle, decides to bring it back out. 9:16 to go. Here's Doss. They'll go right to Alexander. Spins inside against Hutchison, and there's nothing Darrell can do right there. They were going to go after him and try to pick up foul number 4, and Darrell has to be very careful. 59-56. Don't be surprised if they'll try it again, speaking of Manchester, to go right at Darrell Hutchison. Darrell out front against Alexander. Hands it off to Ware. Ware on the drive. Pull up in the lane. No. Rebound by Alexander, and Alexander will bring it out behind the back dribble. Nice pass to his right, and the layup's missed by Kirby. Wow. Here come the Quakers. Hunter in the lane, stripped out of his hands by Kirby. And Kirby, I believe, is going to be called for the foul, and he is. So Kirby at the other end misses an easy layup and then comes back and makes the foul. That was a heck of a pass by Alexander. 8:29 remaining, and here is Kamari Hunter. Kamari with 4 points this afternoon, the senior out of Long Beach, California. The free throw's good. And we have a timeout on the floor. Quakers will get the timeout. We will take a timeout as well. 8:29 remaining in this one. Quakers trailing it by 2.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Today's game brought to you in part by Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. He has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school group or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he'll donate 10% of what he makes on that transaction to the school group or nonprofit of your choice, and it will go in your name. Tell your friends, family, and colleagues to mention this offer when listing with Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. Give him a call at 969-3400. Again, 969-3400. 8:29 remaining. Quakers down 59-57. Kamari Hunter back at the line. Kamari with 5 points for Earlham here this afternoon, and his second free throw is on the way and hard off the back of the iron. Rebound, El Dasugi. El Dasugi is going to be fouled. He got double teamed, and now who do you get? Looks like it's going to be Kenny Doss picking up his third. And so now El Dasugi will go to the line. Romy back in now for Manchester. Adrian Johnson checking back in as well. Free throw by El Dasugi is good. El Dasugi now with 3, and the Quakers a chance to tie this one right here. And missed the second. Romy with a rebound. Johnson, 8 points in the first half, only 3 in the second half. Manchester working down low, pass from Romy intended for Tyler Alexander out of bounds. Only the third turnover the second half for Manchester. They had 15 in the first half. 18 turnovers overall, and the Quakers now chance to take the lead. Quakers work it to El Dasugi once again. Here's Bonin straight away. Manchester stays in the zone. Stallings in the game for the Quakers. Entry pass down low to Hutchison. Back to Bonin. Pull-up jumper. Rims in and out. Stallings had a hand on it. Couldn't pull it in. It goes out of bounds. And back once again to Manchester. Not a bad look that time by Blake Bonin. Now Manchester. Here's Johnson quickly up the floor. And what do we have? They want the game clock down to 7:45. Apparently it did not start on time. It would have been 2 seconds off of the game clock. They do have 2 seconds off of the shot clock, but they've now put that at 26. So why would it be a difference of just 2 seconds on the game clock at 7:45, and they took 4 seconds off the shot clock? Should be 2 seconds each. It will be Manchester basketball. 7:40 nonetheless. Billups back in now for Manchester, wearing number 11. Here's Johnson. Brower will go down low. Alexander, nice spin to the baseline. Basket good. Bonin picks up the foul. Boy, Alexander so quick on that spin. Alexander played at Defiance and transferred to Manchester. By the way, for Blake, he just picked up his third. And now Alexander looks to complete the three-point play, and the left-hander no good. Bonin with the rebound. By the way, El Dasugi out, Topalovic in now for the Quakers. Earlham down by 3, 7:19 to go in the second half. Hunter looking for an opening. Now we'll find Hutchison. Draws the triple team. Out to Bonin for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound battle for Brower in there for Manchester. Down court pass. Here's Billups, and Billups missed the layup, but the tip up good by Romy. And we've got a timeout on the floor by the Quakers. We will take a timeout as well. 6:56 remaining. Quakers down 63-58.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Today's game brought to you in part by Harrington Hoke Insurance. At Harrington Hoke, they spend every day working to make this community better, safer, and more enjoyable because their focus is on insurance, and that's it. They are on top of all the industry changes, and they're a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you and what's important to you, Harrington Hoke insures it. Give them a call at 962-9502 or go to their website, harringtonhoke.com. Harrington Hoke Insurance, we got it. Quakers down by 5. They needed to get a timeout right there. Quakers keep battling back and just can't quite seem to make that next jump. And now we'll see Manchester go with a little zone trap. Topolovich will get it to Stallings. Cross-court pass to Hunter. Hunter takes it in the lane. Back to Stallings. He'll drive. Shot's going to be blocked by Romy and out of bounds. Quaker fans wanted a foul once again, but no whistle. 18 on the shot clock. Ware will inbound on the baseline for the Quakers. Spartans making a little shift there inside. Romy coming out. Topolovich off the inbound. Baseline jumper good. Alex Topolovich now with 3. And the Quakers have closed back within 3. Here's Billups. And quickly again, Manchester pushing that ball up the floor as fast as they can. They don't want the Quakers to set up in any type of a zone trap. Johnson, and he traveled with it. Take that back. That's Alexander. And a technical foul's going to be called against Johnson, and Topolovich getting in on it as well. So did they get a double technical right here against Johnson and Topolovich as they had some extracurricular activity going on after the traveling call? So now we wait and let everyone sort this out. It will be Quaker basketball. That'll be the 10th team foul, and in fact, both teams now with 10 following the double technical. And now they'll make sure that everything's clear on the bench as well. So now each team will be shooting double bonus the rest of the way, which could be a key in this one. Earlham basketball down by 3, 63-60. Here's Kamari Hunter off down to Topolovich. Alex way out front will now go again to Hunter. Hunter with a crossover to the left hand, drives, and he's going to be fouled. They'll get Rami on the foul. And here is Kamari Hunter. 2 shots here for Kamari. 3 of 4 from the line this afternoon for the Quaker senior. 6:08 remaining. And he missed that one on the front of the rim. Boy, you got to hit these free throws. Second free throw by Hunter. And he gets 1 of 2. Well, the benches, by the way, haven't played as much of a key factor. Not as many substitutions as we saw in the first half. Here's Alexander across the timeline. We'll go to Brower, back outside to Johnson, and once again it'll be Alexander. Johnson, again, he's been quiet in the second half. Alexander drives in the lane, and we've got a jump ball. It'll stay with Manchester, but they lose the possession arrow. And that could be a key, but we're still pretty a lot of time in this one, 5:50 to go. Manchester with 10 on the shot clock. Here's Johnson. Trying to post up Alexander against Topalovic. Johnson fires and hits it. That's a three-point bucket by Johnson, and we just mentioned he's been relatively quiet here in the second half. But a big three there, and it will give Manchester now a 5-point lead. Here's Stallings. Topalovic off the left wing. High post Hutchison, and now Topalovic will look back inside to Darrell. Darrell facing up his defender, takes it inside, and do we have a foul? Yes, Darrell drawing the two-shot foul. Brower picks up the foul. That's going to be number 2, and here's Darrell Hutchison at the line. Darrell, 3 fouls, kind of limiting him a little bit on what he could do even defensively. So now, chance to play all out here with 5:14 remaining. 13 points by Darrell. And the free throw is good. Sands back in, and Eldasugi coming back in for the Quakers. Hunter will sit down, and Stallings will take a seat. Darrell's second free throw is on the way and good, so Darrell gets them both, and it's back to a 3-point game with just over 5 minutes remaining. Here's Johnson across the timeline. Brower receiving. He's been quiet. 10 points in the first half, scoreless in the second half. Johnson back top of the key once again, guarded there by Eldasugi. Here's Brower. Off the screen, Romy. Romy will drive against Eldasugi. Off-balance shot, no good, and Brower over the top. And wait a minute. Boy, if they get Hutch on this one, that's a terrible call. It appeared anyway, Brower going over the top, and they're going to say the foul's called on Hutchison. And you hear the reaction of the crowd. Needless to say that the crowd here didn't like that one at all. I thought that was a pretty tough call as well. So here's Brower at the line. Free throw good now with 11. That's a tough one for the Quakers. Because that really looked like a pretty good box out, and Brower came up over the top. So now Brower number 2, and he will get them both. Sacalero's coming back in for the Quakers. Hutch will have to sit down. I would imagine it's not going to be much more than a couple of minutes. It'll be Quaker basketball. Scoreboard says 67-63, but it's 68-63. Here's Topalovic inside to Sacaleros. Here's the drive by Sands. Quakers turn it over. Back the other way. Here's Johnson. Layup good. Big turnover for the Quakers. And now Earlham down by 7. Eldasugi, Sacaleros in the ball game. Here is Ware, and they get him for the offensive foul. 2 big turnovers for the Quakers. And now Bonin coming back in, and I believe we're going to get a timeout on the floor, and we will. It was Manchester called the timeout, or the Quakers. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. This is Quaker basketball. Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770.
Well, the Quakers 2 turnovers in their last 2 possessions, and now they're down by 7. And so now Manchester with the basketball with just over 4 minutes remaining in this one. Tyler Alexander with the ball as he'll bring it across and give it up to Johnson. Billups coming off the screen, now receives the basketball out front, and will find Brower. Romy back outside to Johnson, 13 on the shot clock. Brower back inside to Alexander, draws the double team. Alexander, there's a travel. Well, there's no doubt about that one. Turnover, number 21 now in Manchester, and here comes Daryl Hutchison. We mentioned he's not going to be out very long. El Dasugi coming out. They're going to need Daryl in there to play down low and get some points here. 3:52 remaining. Elijah Wilson-Thomas will come in. More offense right here. Topalovic will sit down. So now you have two proven scorers in Hutchison and Thomas, 15.1 and 10.5. Bonin is in also to 10.3 points per game, so your three leading scorers are in. 3:49, or should say 3:39 to go. Sakaleros out on the high post. One dribble, gives it up in the corner to Bonin for three. No. Long rebound, Sands stripped out of his hands, and the foul called on Evan Romy. So we go to the free throw line, and Nick Sands will step to the free throw line. Two shots here for Nick Sands. Sands with 6 points, all coming in the second half, but he's been playing with foul trouble. El Dasugi and Topalovic coming back in as the Quakers will play offense-defense, trying to save Hutchison. Make sure he doesn't pick up his fifth foul. Second free throw good by Nick Sands, and the Quakers back to within 5. 3:29 remaining. Topalovic and Alexander could be interesting here toward the end. Brower gives off now to Billups. Here's Johnson at the right elbow. Romy trying to cut down low. They'll give it back to Brower, and once again Romy. Billups coming off the screen to the left. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Alexander facing up his defender. Alexander spins, throws it inside. Billups off-balance shot, no good. It did hit the rim, and the rebound by Alexander of Manchester. So a fresh 30 on the shot clock, and that'll be El Dasugi on the foul out front. And we'll go back to the free throw line unless there was a timeout. And looks like there is a timeout on the floor. And this one, I believe, belongs to Manchester. It'll be a full timeout, 2:52 to go in this one. And the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, 70-65. Manchester leading it by 5.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Today's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. And each day of the week, you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors. Only $3.50 at Subway. With it being Sunday, it's the meatball marinara. Tomorrow, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. And then on Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. Of course, we'll be naming the Subway sub of the game and the Wesley Bates Wealth Management player of the game after this one. The Quakers down by 5. Manchester still has 21 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Johnson gliding to his left. They'll post up Alexander. He draws the double team, bounces away, back to Romy. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Johnson. Take that back, it's Alexander. Alexander stripped out of his hands. 4 on the shot clock. Now Johnson from 3 off the front of the rim and coming out with Elijah Wilson-Thomas. Down to Sands. Sands lays it in. Quakers back to within 3. 2:18 remaining. Romy once again, and an offensive foul called on Johnson. Johnson, a moving screen and a turnover, number 22 now on Manchester. Bonin back in. Also coming back in for the Quakers will be Daryl Hutchison. Topolovich and Eldasugi will sit down as we continue to play offense-defense for the Quakers. Well, Eldasugi coming back in. I'm not sure who was supposed to come into the lineup, but Eldasugi will stay in. Quaker basketball, just over 2 minutes remaining. Here's Hutch at the top of the key. Eldasugi at the elbow. Once again, Elijah Wilson-Thomas. Inside now to Hutchison. Hutchison draws that double team. Here again, Hutch off the pass from Wilson-Thomas. Hutch drives and misses that one. Brower with a rebound. Offensive foul on the Quakers. Take that back. A foul on the Quakers on the rebound. Eldasugi just picked up the foul. That's going to be his second. And now we'll walk to the other end and shoot a couple of free throws. It's Brower. Boy, that was a tough one again. Hutch unable to lay that one in. And again, 2 big free throws right here for Blake Brower. Here's Topolovich once again. Also back in for the Quakers, Sakalaros coming in. Let me check here real quick on Brower's out of Elkhart Central. Missed the second one. We will stay at 71-67. So Sakalaros in the ballgame for the Quakers. Here's Topolovich to Sakalaros on the wing. Topolovich posting up underneath. They can't get it to him. 14 on the shot clock. Here is Elijah Wilson-Thomas, and the Quakers are going to get a timeout. Couldn't get anything going offensively, so a timeout Earlham. 1:31 remaining on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers down by 4.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Today's game brought to you in part by Square Donuts of Richmond. Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or even a midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. Enjoy those huge cinnamon rolls or any of the other crowd favorites, including maple bacon, strawberry cheesecake, Oreo cream, pumpkin spice, and many, many more. And, of course, grab those award-winning glazed donuts, voted #1 in the entire state. And proud to be your favorite donut shop, home to the best donuts in town and the only squares around, Square Donuts of Richmond. After today, the Quakers will be back in action December the, let's see, they're on the road at Center next week, and then not back home until they meet Wabash December the 30th. Their next conference matchup at Transylvania, January the 4th. And we've got a issue with the shot clock again. They'll send both teams now to their benches, but I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do right here after that timeout. It's still 1:31 on the game clock, 9 on the shot clock. So now they'll run the shot clock down to 6, the game clock at 1:28. I never quite figured this out earlier when we saw that they'd reset the shot clock to 26, but they only took 2 seconds off of the game clock, 4 seconds off the shot clock, and yet they started at the same time. They're talking with Jason Polikoff, the head coach for the Quakers, and Well, they're only going to put 6 on the shot clock now for the Quakers. Elijah Wilson-Thomas will inbound the basketball. You see right in front of the Earlham bench. Does so now to Isaiah Ware. Ware on the drive, and they're going to get Johnson on the foul, and that's a tough call against Johnson. He was just running alongside of Ware, and Ware, I think, just slipped. Now they're checking the floor, and see, you wouldn't really need to check the floor if by chance it wasn't. There could have been a foul. But now here's Isaiah Ware at the line for 2 shots. And Ware misses the front of 2. Topalovic back in. Hutchison will sit down. El Dasugi also coming back. Nope, this is going to be Stallings who will come in for Isaiah Ware. Nope, that's actually going to be, Elijah Wilson-Thomas who will come out. Ware's at the line for number 2. Isaiah 6 points, 1:24 to go. Second free throw is good. And the Quakers down by 3. Lead pass Johnson. Sands got a hand on it but couldn't get a hold of it. Manchester, 22 turnovers here this afternoon, but still leading this one by 3. Romy drives, feeds off. Here is Brower for 3. No good. Ball tipped by Johnson. Rebounded inside by Castile. And a foul called in the Quakers. Nick Sands just picked up his 5th, so he fouls out of this one. Sands with 9 points, all in the second half. Castile will go to the line for 2 shots. Hutchison back in. Also back in will be Sanborn for the Quakers. 56.7 remaining. So here's Castile at the line. 2 big free throws right now. Still a 3-point lead. And again, 2 big free throws here for Castile. First time to the line, hits the front end of 2. And is back to a 4-point lead. Second free throw no good, and the rebound Stallings. Still a 2-possession game. Driving is Wilson-Thomas, or is that Ware? Stripped out of his hands, goes out of bounds. Johnson got a piece of it, and it was Elijah Wilson-Thomas on the drive. 22 on the shot clock, 47.9 on the game clock, and Ware will inbound deep in the corner. Here's Hutchison. Darrell, shot fake, up and under, good. And is back to a 2-point ball game. The press again. Here's Johnson across the timeline. Brower brings it back outside. Once again, Alexander. Ware guarding very closely. They'll get it to Johnson. 17 on the shot clock. There's about a 12-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Now 8. Johnson in the corner. Here is Castile. No good. Rebound tip. Foul called on Alexander. .5 remaining, and now Earlham will go to the free throw line. And who's it going to be? It may be Elijah Wilson-Thomas. One of the, in fact, best free throw shooters in the country. So you got the right guy at the line to try to tie this game with just 14.5 seconds remaining. There's one. Topalovic back in. El Dasugi back in. Sakaleros back in. And who else is coming in? Hunter? Well, Elijah's going to come out. Hunter will be the next guy coming in. If he makes the free throw, it'll be Hunter. Chance to tie right here, and he got it. So Hunter is in. Wilson Thomas with 8. Quakers will full court press right here. Chance to send this game into overtime or get a steal and score. Here's Johnson. Johnson crossed the timeline. Johnson back outside. Castile for 3. Missed it. Rebound battled for, and we've got a jump ball. 5.9 remaining. And will it be Quaker basketball? They have the arrow. And it will be Quaker ball thanks to Topolovich. And Earlham will make a bunch of wholesale changes right here and a timeout on the floor. Chance to perhaps win this one here in regulation. 5.9 remaining, and we're tied at 72.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Quakers will set to win this one. 5.9 remaining. Tied at 72. Hutches back in. Elijah Wilson-Thomas, Isaiah Ware. Stallings is in along with Thomas Sanborn. Earlham will have to go the length of the floor. They have plenty of time, though. 5.9 to get a good look. But a timeout once again on the floor. Tied at 72. This is Earlham basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
Again, Quakers, 5.9 remaining here in regulation, tied at 72. Stallings will inbound. Ware and Elijah Wilson-Thomas up front. They're going to send Elijah long. They'll get it to Ware. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Ware from 15. No, off the front of the rim. And we will play some free basketball. We will go to overtime. Tied at 72. This is Quaker basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. You know, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
We head to overtime, and we'll jump it up in the middle. Stallings along with Alexander. It'll be Manchester basketball, so you get a free 5 minutes of basketball here in the HCAC. Both teams looking for that first conference win here this afternoon. Here's Brower working it right side to Romey. Trying to post up Alexander. They'll do so, and Alexander drives in a blocking foul on Stallings. Stallings just picked up his fourth. And we will head to the free throw line. Tyler Alexander. $15 points by Alexander. Chance to give now the Spartans the lead here in overtime, and he missed the front. Quakers will have to play. Hutchison has 4 fouls. They already lost Nick Sand. Stallings has 4. Second free throw is on the way and good. By the way, Alexander is also playing with 4 fouls. But now Manchester leading it by 1, 73-72. Quakers' first possession of overtime. Wilson Thomas pulls up from 16. Good. And the Quakers lead at 74-73. 10 points now by Wilson Thomas. Here's Johnson off the right wing. Johnson will find Alexander. He will drive and a whistle, and I believe we got another foul call. And if they get Hutch, that's going to be his 5th, and I think Darrell just fouled out. 18 points by Darrell Hutchison. But now the Quakers will have to go to their bench, so they lose their leading scorer, and Topolovich will come in. So Alexander at the line. 4:03 remaining in our first overtime. Now tied at 74. Second free throw by Alexander. Missed it short. Rebound, though, by Brower, and he's tied up by Stallings. It will go to the Quakers, but Earlham will lose the possession arrow. That could be a huge key on the later stages of this overtime, as now Manchester will have the possession arrow. Wilson Thomas back to Ware. Tied at 74 here in the overtime with 3:47 to go. Here's Sanborn. Ware will dump it down on the baseline to Wilson Thomas. Tried to spin away from Brower inside to Topolovich. His shot, the fadeaway jumper, no good. Off the fingertips of Stallings on the attempted rebound. And I think that Topolovich is going to come out of the ball game. Nope, it's going to be Elijah Wilson Thomas as we'll go offense-defense again. Kamari Hunter has come in. And El Dasugi coming in. They're going to make sure that Kamari will come over and check in before he runs onto the floor, make it official. So now Manchester a chance to take the lead. Romey will find Castile. Brower trying to sweep through against Stallings. Castile once again. They'll go to Alexander. Alexander will find Johnson. Three-pointer is no good. Rebound, and they're going to get Kamari, I believe, on the foul against Brower. Kamari picks up his first. Now, Brower had quite a size advantage inside. Brower going at 6'7", and Kamari only listed at 6'2". And the free throw is good by Brower. Elijah back in. Sanborn back in as well. 1 point lead now for Manchester. 3:10 to go. Second free throw by Brower is on the way and good. (76-74). Here's Ware with the basketball. Quakers down by 2. Stallings looking left, goes to the middle to Topolovich. Here's Sanborn, back to Topolovich. Quakers again without Hutchison. Here's Ware, gets the screen, drives down the lane, and they'll wave off the shot. Foul will be called out front. And that's going to do it for Evan Romy. He's out of the ball game. He just fouled out. El Dasugi coming back in for the Quakers. Sakalaris will come in. Hunter will come in. And the Quakers will see Kenny Doss come in for Manchester. Doss played well. Haven't seen him in a while. But he'll be one not to foul. A good free throw shooter if you have to foul. Ware with the free throw. Back to a 1-point lead. So Isaiah Ware with both free throws, and we'll be tied at 76. Mentioned the changes just moments ago, as again there is Hunter back in the ball game. And I'm not so sure that maybe Alexander, does he have a necklace on? He's been playing with a necklace the whole game, and they finally saw it. He has to come out for one play, so Basarevic will come in, and then we'll see Alexander come back in, but he's been playing the entire game, and they finally spotted a necklace. Here's Johnson. Doss off the screen once again, Brower. Still 13 on the shot clock. Johnson will make his move down the lane. Missed it. Ball tipped out. Run down by Doss and a fresh 30. Big possession again here as Brower starts to penetrate, and a timeout will be called. 2:22 remaining in overtime. We're tied at 76.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
2:22 remaining here in overtime. Nothing settled so far as Manchester got the timeout. Tied once again at 76. By the way, Alexander back in. Brower almost drew the foul from Sakalaris. Johnson will find Doss. Brower out front, back to Johnson. They're trying to post up Alexander underneath. Doss traveled with it. Quakers come back. Bonin coming in. Sanborn is in. Elijah Wilson-Thomas as well as Isaiah Ware. Quakers a chance now to take the lead here in our first overtime. Wilson-Thomas will find Bonin looking left. Good denial defense that time by Castile of Manchester. Now to be Ware. 13 on the shot clock. Bonin receives, gives it off now to Wilson Thomas. He'll drive, and shot's going to be blocked. It goes out of bounds. It will go off of Blake Brower. Brower at 6'7", able to get the block against Wilson Thomas. 4 on the shot clock. Ware will inbound, intended for Stallings. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and Elijah will throw it up, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Not so sure that maybe that shot clock didn't start a little bit early. The ball didn't touch anyone as it came through, and Stallings didn't touch it. And so now it'll be Manchester basketball. Here's Johnson. Castile working it to Brower. Back to Johnson between the circles. And Doss receives, and he'll be fouled by Elijah Wilson-Thomas. He just picked up his 4th. Thing that Coach Polikoff was upset about is I don't think Stallings touched it when the ball was inbounded, yet the shot clock started, and it went 2 seconds before it was touched out front. And so the Quakers had reason to maybe be upset about that call as Doss misses the free throw. He's missed 2 in a row after making 9 in a row. Second free throw by Doss. And he gets that one. So now Manchester leading at 77-76. 1:12 remaining. Bonin gets the screen from Stallings. Back now to Ware. 3-pointer, no. And we've got a rebounding foul against Chase Castile, and he just fouled out. That is his 5th. Quakers will bring their defensive lineup back in, but we're going to go to the free throw line here, and here's Thomas Sanborn, 4 for 4 from the line. Guy Neal, the head coach for the Spartans, now has a decision to make, and he's going to come back with Basarevic. Basarevic at 6'4" out of Fort Wayne Northrop High School. And here's Sanborn again at the line. Ouch. Still chance to tie right here with 1:05 remaining in OT. He gets the second. Sacaleros coming back in. And now 1 minute remaining in this one. Quakers will get the basketball back no matter what. Tied at 77. Johnson bypasses Meeks. Back outside once again to Brower. And boy, almost. And did it go off? It did. They say it was last touched by Kenny Doss. Turnover Manchester. That is their 24th turnover of the afternoon. Quakers bring their offensive unit back in. There's a 19-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 49.3 to go. Quakers have a chance to take the lead here in the OT. Bonin will bring the ball up the floor against Johnson. Stallings set to go on the screen. It'll be off now to Elijah. Elijah drives in the lane. Fall away. No. Rebound Stallings, and a rebounding foul called against the Spartans. And that'll put Stallings at the line. Foul called against Brower. He just picked up his 3rd. Quakers will go offense, defense again. But here's Stallings at the line, and he missed the front end of the 2-shot foul. 32.4. Hunter back in. Sacaleros back in. Topalovic has re-entered the lineup. And El Dasugi, second free throw. He missed them both. Rebound by Doss. Chance right there to perhaps win the ball game. Now Manchester will get it back. 20 seconds remaining. Here's Johnson. They're going to run that thing down as far as they possibly can. They don't want to leave the Quakers any time. Johnson. Ball goes out of his hands, loose on the floor, and it'll be Quaker basketball. Last touch by Alexander. 8.3 to go. And we've got another timeout on the floor. Tied at 77 on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto and business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
Wish me luck, we've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Well, let's see if the Quakers will draw up right here. 8.3 remaining here in our first overtime. Boy, how about Manchester today? 24 turnovers. 15 of those coming in the first half. How many more possessions you give up? Quakers, by the way, with 16 turnovers unofficially. Now Bonin will inbound. See what the Quakers will go with. Elijah nearly lost it. Elijah stops, fires, and got it! 1.7, and Elijah Wilson-Thomas. And Earlham gets a timeout. It was a 3-point bucket. Boy, how about Elijah Wilson-Thomas? A huge three. And there's another timeout on the floor. 1.7. And it's going to take a miracle right here. Manchester will have to go the length of the floor in order to get a look, so they're going to have to chuck something up probably around midcourt, even if they get the pass in bounds. So Earlham on the verge here of picking up a win in the conference and go to 1-3, snap a 3-game losing streak, and also win their 4th game of the season. If you're Manchester, you've got to get something, probably a baseball pass somewhere at least no further than midcourt to get a decent look. Preferably, if you can, 3/4 court. But that would take quite an effort as the Quakers go back to their defensive lineup. Sakaleros back in, Topolovich back in, Eldasugi, Hunter, as well as Stallings. And Earlham will take no chances. They'll go man-to-man full court. Billups is back in for Manchester. Alexander playing it deep, and it will be Doss. Baseball pass tipped, and at the buzzer, and no, and the Quakers win it. Your final score, Earlham 80, Manchester 77 here in overtime. We'll come back and put a wrap on this one. This is Earlham Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all hand-picked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at Tony'sCarSales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Well, one final time here at the Athletics and Wellness Center as Earlham wins in overtime by a final of 80-77 as the Quakers pick up the win here tonight. And for Earlham now 1-3 in conference play as they now snap a 3-game losing streak and win their 4th overall. Real quick check now for the Spartans. They were led by Tyler Alexander with 17, Adrian Johnson with 16, Blake Brower finished with 15 points, Kenny Doss coming off the bench with 14. And for the Quakers this afternoon, they were led by Daryl Hutchison with 18 points. Elijah Wilson-Thomas, who hit the game winner, finished with 13. Also 9 points by Nick Sands, El Dasugi with 3, Sanborn with 8, Blake Bonin with 2. Kamari Hunter with 7 points, Isaiah Ware with 9, Kenneth Stallings with 8 points, and Alex Topolovich finished with 3 this afternoon. Time to name the Subway sub of the game. And you could really give it to Elijah on both of these, but I think we're going to go today with let's go Isaiah Ware back in the lineup for the Quakers. He finished with 9 points off the bench for the Quakers and 3 assists. So Isaiah Ware, the Subway sub of the game, and Elijah Wilson-Thomas, we have named now the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Player of the game as he hits the game-winning shot as time got down to 1.7 seconds remaining this one. And Elijah Wilson-Thomas again named the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Player of the game. So Quakers win it here this afternoon. As we mentioned, they'll be back in action as they will travel to Center coming up next week before they get a little bit of a break, and they will be back here on December 30th against Wabash. That is a 7:30 tip-off time in a game that you can see right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. But your final score here from Earlham College, Quakers win it in overtime, 80-77. Thanks for being with us. This has been Earlham Men's Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.